All right, so without any further ado, I feel like we should begin the meeting, and I'm just letting a few people in. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Arnav. Can I know how you all are doing in the chat? Or unmute yourselves. Just would like to know how people's days are going. Good, great, nice to hear that. Good, good. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I am the founder and course instructor of Code India. I've been running Code India for the past 3 years. Um, the reason I started this program was because when I first moved to the United States with my parents, I was bombarded with opportunities that I had to find, but also were just simply given to me because I was in schools here. I felt that if I was in India, I would not be able to get those opportunities. And from a career perspective, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I decided to start Code India to as a way of giving the education, the opportunities that I got to my fellow Indians that I wanted to see grow and succeed. Along the lines of that, I also saw people in the tech industry oftentimes giving backhanded compliments about my birthplace and my country, India, specifically because of the reason of the scams that come out of our country. The scams are horrendous, and the amount of cybersecurity knowledge that lacks within these people, not only normal people, but also business owners and corporate people. It's it's a disaster. And one of these reasons I started this program is to fix that, which is why we don't charge anything. We're a complete nonprofit, um, received funding from the Opportunity Network here in the US, and finally found Captain Pankaj a few months ago on LinkedIn. And I am happy to be here, and I'm happy that you all are attending. That's enough about Code India. Today we have participants from all over the country and the world. We have participants from Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi, the US, and several other places. But now I feel like it's a good time for me to hand things over to our special guest today, who's taking his valuable time out of his time, day to come talk about cybersecurity and educate all of us on the thing that he specializes the most. Mr. Haratis Aradri, please take it away. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Arnav, for this introduction. It's really opportunity for me to speak to you, to speak on the through this webinar, create a lot of awareness among the community, among the Indians, like how to safeguard themselves from cybersecurity. I would request you to allow me to share my presentation. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hi,
Yes,
guys.
visible.
Sorry, come again.
Yes, visible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hi all. My name is Bharat Saraugi. I'm a chartered accountant in practice. Last 20 years I've been practicing, and last 15 years I've been handling a lot of systems audit and cybersecurity assignments. So the purpose of this webinar is to create a lot of awareness about what are the different kind of cyber threats which you face on your daily life as an individual or as a business owner or when you are working as an employee. So we will be talking about those threats, and we will try to give you certain knowledge or certain insight about how to uh, mitigate all these threats. So I start my presentation from here. Uh, Basically, half an hour presentation will be on the corporate part, like on the organization part, how to safeguard your organization assets and what are the actions which you take to mitigate the cyber risk. And 15 minutes I will dedicate to individual cyber hygiene also, like what are the things we should do while accessing internet over public Wi-Fi, using online platforms, downloading softwares, how to use credit card. So there will be a lot of example sharings also, and 10 minutes will be for Q&A. And I believe Arnav and uh, Arnav will coordinate for the Q&A. Yeah, you see, this cyber security is a ever-evolving landscape. Like every day, you see a new kind of threat. So there cannot be any fixed process where we mitigate this thing or we handle this thing. So we also need to understand the different kind of threats, the new risk which comes in, and we have to take action on that. And I believe now the government, the organization, lot of study circles, chartered accountant firms, the institute, the trade bodies, then the associations, all are creating a lot of awareness among their members, so that everybody gets benefited from this awareness, and we are able to handle, we are able to take this risk, accept this risk, and we take steps to mitigate this risk. I'm using this word mitigation is basically reducing the risk. You cannot totally escape this risk, but you can definitely try to reduce the risk. I would like to share certain statistics with regard to this cyber attack. You see, 61% of this attack happens to small businesses. I'm also a owner of a small business, a small CA firm. So we are the biggest target of these attackers. The large corporates have a proper robust cybersecurity process. So they follow a process and they are able to mitigate their risk. But we as a small owner of medium-sized business owners we do not have proper measures. We do not have any SOP, a standard operating protocol. No, neither we have a cybersecurity policy to handle any kind of cyber attack. So that is why we are their biggest target. 55% of the ransomware hits. I'm sure many of you know ransomware. I'll try to explain that also. A business with having less than 100 employees. The fourth point, 95% of cybersecurity breaches are attributed to human error. You know what is human error? Human error is basically getting into the trap of this phishing activity. If you're able to understand a phishing activity and we don't respond to that phishing, most of our problem gets solved. Then 34% of the business are hit and they are not able to recover their data because of this ransomware attack or data breaches. So it is important to understand these statistics also. How are we affected by this cyber attack? You know, cyber fraud is the third biggest economy of the world after USA and China. So you can understand the kind of revenue they are generating for themselves, and everyone is being hit. No, any person who is doing online transaction or who is using mobile phone, a smartphone, is a target of cyber frauds. You'll see in last 3-4 years, there's a huge surge in this cyber attack or cyber fraud, because many of us are still working from home. There are a lot of IT companies still allowing people to work from home. We are doing a lot of e-meeting. Earlier, we did not have any idea of e-meeting, Zoom meetings. Now you can see post-COVID, most of our meetings are happening through e-meetings. We do lots of downloads. You can see that anything which is clickable, we simply click and download it. For that reason is one of the reason that malware get downloaded. We are doing a lot of online transaction, and we are doing a lot of social media activity. Most of the people are into Facebook now, are into LinkedIn now. So all these have contributed to a huge surge in cyber fraud and cyber attack. Let us try to make an agenda for today's program. We'll try to understand what are the different threats for our small and medium-sized association. Then how recognizing why cybersecurity is crucial. We'll try to formulate a cybersecurity policy, and I'll give you simple 7 steps which will help you to reduce your cyber risk. The different type of cyber threats organization face. I just mentioned CFM, but it is applicable to all the organization, all the small and medium organization. Everyone face phishing attack. If you open your email account, you will see every day you must be getting some kind of mails which are not related to you, and it comes from random people. They give you random offers. It could be like you have won a lottery ticket, or there's a job offer from a good company, or it could be like there's an income tax refund to your account. So, and you don't know whether it is an actual email or it is a phishing mail. So it is very important to understand how a phishing mail works, how to identify a phishing attack. So if there is a phishing attack, and if you're able, if you're target, if you're reading that email and you are doing any action with respect to that email, you may get into trouble. There could be a situation that you have clicked a link and a software get downloaded in your system. That software could be a malware, it could be a ransomware also. As I mentioned, through phishing attack, we may get malware, such like ransomware. Ransomware is one of the most deadliest software, a software which get downloaded to your computer phone or to your mobile phone, where they lock all your files, all your important files into a different format, which you will not be able to open it. And you will be only able to open it when you pay them a ransom. That is why the word ransomware is there. You pay them a ransom, they will give you a key, which is called a decryption key, and then you will be able to open that files. And there are people who target specifically businesses where they know there are important files, folders, photographs, personal photographs, business contracts. All these are important files. And they target such businesses. So it is important how to handle when there is a ransomware attack, what action you should take. Data breaches. It could happen that suddenly you'll see that some file folders are getting uploaded to the server of any other person. That is called data breaches. It could be that your email has been compromised. Somebody is using your email from a different location and is downloading certain important files. That could be part of data breaches. Poor password and access control. In India, it is very common to use password like Ram123, Balaji123. These are absolutely easily crackable password. In my experience, I've seen businesses using all these passwords with God name and then 123, or their personal name and 123. So it is important that we should understand what is poor password, and we should have proper access control of all our important folders. It should not happen that you have given access to all your employees of your confidential folders and you don't know who is accessing what. That is why this is one of the biggest cyber threat is poor password and access control. Untrained employees. Untrained employees are basically people who are not aware about cyber threats. Most of you are untrained people right now because you don't understand what are the different kind of cyber threats, how to identify a phishing. So it is important for us that each and every employee of our organization are trained about these cyber threats. It is very, very important. It could happen that we as a partners or business owners are trained well about this cyber threat, but our employees, even I would say, even a peon, an office boy who is able to access your computer, clicking something wrong and a software get downloaded, your entire office is compromised. So it is very, very important for you now that all your team members, all your employees are trained with regard to this cyber. As Arnav mentioned, the purpose of Code India is to create a lot of cyber awareness, cyber training program. So I believe Code India will play a big role in this. Similarly, if your spouse, if your children are not well educated about this or are not aware about this cyber threat, they may create a problem for your office computer, or ultimately your office may be affected by this compromised part. Insider threats. Again, insider threats are also a cyber threat. There could be somebody has planted someone in your organization and they are leaking data online or through social media, or they are sending emails to people who are your competitors. Then there is something called DOS attack or DDoS. DOS attack is basically denial of service attack or distributed denial of service attack, where you are unable to access any website. You may see that at the last days of return filings, the ROC site does not work, the income tax site does not work. But this is not a DOS attack. This is basically a huge pressure on the server. But it could be a possible that there is an attack on a website and that particular website is not inaccessible. You cannot see that website. multiple times it has been reported by many big companies also that there has been a DOS attack on their website. Even Google has reported sometimes that Microsoft have reported there has been a DOS attack on their website and people are unable to access that website. Compromised email. Again, this is a very, very big threat. Many people are having a very poor password for their email. They do not use a multi-factor authentication for their email. They go anywhere, they simply access their email and they don't log out. So those emails are basically compromised email. Anybody can access to your email, or a person is accessing to your email and he's sending mails to your contacts and asking money, or sending or stealing information from your emails. So this is what is called a compromised email. So it is very important that you should have a very strong password of your mail, and every mail should be at least two-factor authenticated. Identity theft. I'm sure many of you have faced this, that now somebody in your name with your photographs are giving invite messages to in Facebook or in other social media that I give you an example. Suppose Pankaj Kumar already have a Facebook account and somebody sent Pankaj Kumar friend as Pankaj Kumar new Facebook account, and after they are made friends, then the fake Pankaj Kumar asks for money, that he is into deep trouble, kindly pay me money. So these are all called identity theft. So it is very important that once we understand what are the different kind of threats, we will be able to handle it. We will be able to understand how these are basically, you are able to understand the root cause of the problem. So why cybersecurity is crucial? We should understand that also. As business owner, as accountant, it is very important for each one of us that there is a legal and regulatory obligation on us to safeguard our data. Many of you are aware now there is a new Data Act has also been passed where you are required to properly keep safe all the personal data of people you are handling. So it is your obligation that there should not be any data theft from your offices, from your organization. And if there is such kind of threats happening, or an incident has happened, there could be penal action on you also. As an accountant, as a chartered accountant, we are supposed to keep all the information of a client confidential also. So it is part of our obligation. If any sensitive data of our client get leaked to his competitor or in the social media, the client may sue us also. So it is part of our, we should understand why cybersecurity is crucial for us. And it could happen that we may lose money also if our bank account is being hacked or our phone is being hacked. So ultimately, the effect is loss of reputation and loss of money. So it is important that we should understand why cybersecurity is crucial. We'll come next. Like how to protect your own data and client data. I'll try to give you certain uh, uh, actions also, like how do we protect our data of our client. Let us try to understand what kind of different types of data do we have in our organization. In any small medium organization, we have these kind of data. I hope you're able to see my file. You can see there are a lot of data with regard to the accounting software which we are using, like Tally, Busy, Mark. So there are files with regard to those. All those data are absolutely very, very important to us. If our data get leaked, we are into deep trouble. It could be our data, it could be our client data. Similarly, there could be a lot of JPG files also. There could be working files, Excel files, balance sheet, MIS, confidential progress, confidential data files of suppliers. What is my price rate of the supplier? Then information about our suppliers, what kind of procurement I am taking, what is my contract, what is my contract agreement, the terms and condition, all are very, very sensitive and confidential to us. So we could have, if we are an organization, we have data like CRM data. If you are filing TDS return, we have those TDS return data, income tax return data, the ROC, the minute books, the XBRL, and we have a lot of personal identifier data also, like our PAN number, our mobile number, our email address, our Aadhaar number with photographs. So all these data are stored in our computer in soft format. So these are all very, very important kind of data for us. And just imagine if your personal data is leaked in the dark web, what will happen? It may happen that somebody may open a bank account in your name. It could be a possibility. And they may take loan from that bank. So it is very, very important for us that we should understand what kind of data is in our organization. And out of these, which is the most sensitive, confidential data, we should keep track of it. I give you an example in a different way. I'll speak Hindi also, Arnav, if you allow me. I believe most of people understand Hindi, they'll be able to connect more. So, आपके dining table पे you have crockery set and then you have jewelry. Yeah. So just imagine in your dining table you have crockery sets and you have jewelry. So आप किसको सबसे ज्यादा संभाल के रखोगे? Crockery set को कि jewelry को? Obviously jewelry को, because jewelry are precious things. They have more value to it. Similarly, in your data, you have to understand which kind of data is confidential to you, which is sensitive to you, which may harm you if it is get leaked to you. So once you understand, properly analyze what kind of data you have in your machine, then you create folders, a folder of a confidential folder, and you can lock that folder, lock through encryption, through password. Even if a person steal that folder, he'll not be able to open it because it's a password protected. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? So it is important, आपके पास क्या है वो पता लगाना पहले. हमारे पास ये है. अच्छा, मेरे पास ज्वेलरी है, मैं ज्वेलरी को अपने तिजोरी में रख रहा हूं, पर मैं क्रॉकरी सेट को अपने तिजोरी में नहीं रखूंगा. This is what I mean to say. We should identify what kind of information data we have in our computer, we have in our mobile phone. Second most important thing which we have is our email. I believe most of you are using Gmail now, and I believe most of you don't know how to take a backup of your Gmail. Are you aware? Can you type in chat box? Do you know how to take backup of Gmail? If I can get a response. There's a special process to take backup of your Gmail. I will tell you how to take a backup. I believe most of the people don't know this. You cannot take backup simply by downloading a mail. Suppose you have more than 50,000 mail or even 5,000 mail, and there are a lot of folders in your photographs. There could be folder in your Google Drive. So how will you take backup of that particular mail? Suppose you have forgotten the password or somebody has hacked your email account, and now he is blackmailing you that I will not allow you to open your email unless you pay me a ransom. In that scenario, what will save you? So it is very important that we should have proper backup of our mail account also. Similarly, as I mentioned in my earlier slide, we should identify what are the different kind of confidential data we have. We should keep them in a secure place. We should take a backup of that folders also. Similarly, of Gmail. Let me show you how to take backup of your Gmail account. Is my screen visible?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's something called takeout. You just need to type takeout. Can you see my screen? Takeout Google. So once you sign it with your mail account, they will allow you to take a backup of your entire Gmail account. And this is a very, very precious backup. Believe me, even if you lose the Gmail account, something happens, you can download the entire data from your Gmail account. So you see, there are more than 50 services which Gmail offer to us. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
You'll see, so I use a lot of calendar because all my assignments are, all my meetings are marked in calendar. So calendar, I take a back of my calendar. Then you will see contacts. I'm sure most of you have synced your contacts with your Gmail account. This is again a very, very important backup. Your drives. Then Google Chat, if somebody is using Google Chat. Google Photos. I'm just most the people commonly used by people. I'm taking that only. Google Keep. Mail account. Can you see this? Messages and attachment in your Gmail account. Again, a very, very important folder. So I'll take next step. Now you see, send download link via email. It allow me to download the entire backup of my Gmail in your computer. Or you can do one thing from cloud to cloud. You can take a backup from a cloud to cloud. So from a Gmail account, you can transfer this backup to either a Dropbox account to a OneDrive account. OneDrive is basically a Microsoft service, and to a Box account. What I normally do, I do a OneDrive account. So now what I'm doing, my entire Gmail backup is being transferred to OneDrive, and it is seamless. I don't have to do anything. I just need to give a command, and automatically the sync comes out. Sync comes in. So I have a OneDrive account also. OneDrive is a cloud service of Microsoft, and Google is a cloud service of Gmail. So there's an option where every 2 months this export will happen, or you can do it for once also. And once I click link account and create export. So now this account will get linked to my OneDrive, or you have an option to download in your local computer. So I believe you have learned this new thing, how to take a backup of your Google account. Google account is, as I mentioned, it's a very, very precious account now for most of the organization. Any questions? I am not sure about Yahoo. I'm sure Yahoo must also have some backup facility. But Google is the most commonly used mail services. Arnav, can we make it a little interactive? Like if somebody wants to speak to me, they can speak to me here directly.
Yes,
That will
absolutely.
make
They do have the ability to speak. They are choosing not to. They generally in the classrooms prefer chats. And occasionally
right,
someone unmutes themselves, and they do have the ability to do so. So
right.
anyone, if you want to ask anything, if you have a question, feel free to interrupt him, and basically unmute your mic or put something in the chat.
Right. So I'm going back to my presentation now. I believe now most of you are aware how to take a backup of your Gmail. Now we are coming to these steps. I'll try to give you 7 steps where we, in an organization level, we try to mitigate this cyber risk. The first and the most important step is backup recovery. You see, in India, anything which will save you is backup. If you have any kind of attack or a virus attack or a ransomware attack, anything which will save you is backup. So backup is the most important step every organization should take. So how to take backup? There are a lot of softwares to take backup. What we normally do in India, we put a pen drive into our system, we right click it, send, we choose a folder and simply copy and paste into that pen drive. I believe the time has gone for that pen drive. The time has come to use proper softwares, backup softwares, which create an image of the backup. The entire backup image is being created, and that image is very, very strong. You will be able to retrieve that folder files very, very easily. But it may happen if you copy it into CD drive. I think CD drive is already over now. If you copy it in pen drive may not open. Pen drive may be There could be some software function or could be some malware also inside that pen drive. So those are not reliable software process anymore. It is important that you should understand now the time has come to use proper software, backup software part. I can give you some examples. There's a very good software called Nova Backup, Nova. You can download it online. You just need to pay 5,000-6,000 rupees and you get 3 licenses for that. And it is a very good and easy software to use. Your entire computer backup can be created as an image, and you can use that image to in any of your system, and immediately you'll be able to retrieve all your backup folders. So it is important as a part of strategy, like there should be a proper backup process in your office. When to take backup, it is again depends on organization to organization. There are organizations which take daily backup. There are organizations which take backup every hour. So again, for a small medium enterprises, the backup should be minimum at least of 1 week. So even if there's an attack, you are unable to retrieve, you lose only 1 week data. But a discipline need to be followed, a process need to be followed, that a person is assigned, that you are required to take backup every week in a proper way. And again, very important, that backup need to be tested on a very regular way. Testing a backup is very important. Why? It has happened many times that you are in a notion that I am taking backup, but when the D-day comes, when the doom day comes, you will see that your backup process is a defective one. You are unable to retrieve the data. So what we suggest our client that every 3 months, they should test their backup. They should restore that backup in a different computer, and they see that like all the files are being properly restored or not. So as I mentioned, backup depends on company to company, organization to organization, which suits them. You could have a local backup also. You could have a cloud backup also. Again, depends on you. I always prefer people to take cloud backup, because it may happen that you have taken a local backup and you are unable to access your office because there could be an earthquake or a fire in your office, or some any kind of problem in your office. You are not able to access that office. So if you are taking a cloud backup, anywhere from like anytime from anywhere, you can access that cloud backup, you can download, and you are back to your business. So backup is very important for any organization, and testing backup and recovering exercise again are the most important exercise after taking the backup. As I mentioned in my statistics, the easiest target is not a system or technology. It is basically you and me. So what do you mean by this? There should be proper formulation of employee training. Employees are your assets, and they can also get you into big trouble. If your employees are not aware about, they don't know about the phishing activity, the ransomware, so they click anywhere, they download anything. And if they do that, your organization is into trouble. So the second biggest step for any organization as a part of best practices is to train their employees, creating awareness among employees about the phishing. So there should be some kind of training programs how to do this. I'm sure Arnav can also guide on this. They may create some curriculum on this for which you can use Code India services. And these trainings should be regular. It should not happen that it happened once in a while or once in a year and then everybody forget. It should be like, it should happen every 3 months at least. And you should have meeting once in a month where you exchange information about incidents, that all the employees come together and they talk about incident which has happened to them. Once you share any kind of your experience, your incident, the other people also learns and the awareness get created. There should be cyber hygiene practice in your organization. You should have strong passwords in your organization. So all these need to be taught to the employees, that how to create a cyber hygiene, personal cyber hygiene. You should not use your office computer for your personal works or for your Facebook or your social media activities. Similarly, the moment you face any kind of cyber incident, you should immediately report to your office or to a regulatory body. It could be a police or it could be anyone. Then how to handle and disclose any kind of critical data. When you are working remotely, what are the steps you should follow as an employee? So all these kind of training need to be done. How to identify fake email and fake senders. There are very simple process. If you follow these 4-5 steps, you'll be able to identify that this is a fake mail. I do not need to respond. I give you one example. Recently, we did a small mock exercise in an organization. What we did, मैं अगेन हिंदी में बोलना चाहूंगा, हम लोगों ने एचआर के नाम से एक ईमेल क्रिएट किया, पंकज कुमार hr@bdsco.in. मैं एक पंकज जी का नाम ले रहा हूं, पंकज जी, होप डोंट माइंड. एंड एवरीबडी नोज पंकज हमारा एचआर है. एंड पंकज के नाम से हम लोगों ने सारे एम्प्लॉयज को मेल भेजा, उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अराउंड 50 एम्प्लॉयज को, कि थर्सडे को, मतलब समझिए कल, यस्टरडे, हमारा अटेंडेंस सिस्टम में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ. आपने जो बायोमेट्रिक दिया था वो हमने ठीक से रिकॉर्ड नहीं कर पाए हम. सो वी आर नॉट अवेयर वेदर यू वर प्रेजेंट और एब्सेंट. सो ईच वन ऑफ यू is requested to click on this link and confirm whether you were present yesterday or not. It's a very, very genuine mail. जो भी employee, or if you don't respond, we'll assume that you have not come yesterday and we'll deduct 1 day salary. It's a so जितने भी employees ने उनको देखा उस मेल को, सबने immediately उसको respond किया. उन्होंने लिंक को क्लिक किया. जब लिंक क्लिक किया तो एक छोटा सा एक फॉर्म खुला. आया आपका नाम, your employee ID, your email address, whether you were present yesterday, at what time you logged in, what time you logged out, and then आपका आधार नंबर, आप कौन से बैंक अकाउंट यूज करते हैं, ये सारा इंफॉर्मेशन पूछा. And believe me, 70% people responded, they gave their Aadhaar number, they gave which bank account they use. If I am HR of that company and I have all the data of the employee, why will I ask a Aadhaar number? Why will I ask a personal identifier number? तो जो माइंडफुल एम्प्लॉइज थे वो लोग ने क्लिक नहीं किया. वो लोग तुरंत एचआर को फोन किए कि ये क्या मेल भेजा है. एचआर बोला मैंने तो कोई मेल ही नहीं भेजा आपको. बोला देखो मेरे पास ये मेल आया है. एंड 70% लोगों ने उसको रिस्पॉन्ड किया और उन्होंने सारे इंफॉर्मेशन दे दिया. अगर मैं और भी कुछ मांगता तो वो और भी कुछ दे देते. तो इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर कोई आदमी कुछ भी ऐसा मांग रहा है जो आपको लग रहा है वो नहीं उसको जाना चाहिए, देन सस्पिशियस शुड अराइज इन योर माइंड कि वो क्यों मांग रहा है. क्या वो सही आदमी है जो जिसको मेरे को इंफॉर्मेशन देना है. अब जो 30% एम्प्लॉइज थे जिन्होंने रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं किया, उन्होंने ईमेल एड्रेस चेक किया. उन्होंने देखा पंकज कुमार hr@bdsco.in. कंपनी का नाम तो BDS कॉम है, ये bdsco.in कैसे आया. तो तुरंत वो आइडेंटिफाई कर गए कि इट्स अ फेक ईमेल एड्रेस. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द स्टेप where if you see the email address, who is the sender, don't look at the person क्या नाम से आ रहा है. आप ईमेल एड्रेस चेक करोगे तो आपको आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएगा कि वो फिशिंग मेल है, फेक ईमेल है कि क्या है. मैं एक एग्जांपल दिया आपको. तो इस टाइप का ट्रेनिंग एम्प्लॉयज के लिए इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट ऑल योर एम्प्लॉयज, इवन योर पियोन, ऑफिस बॉय, शुड बी ट्रेन्ड विथ रिगार्ड टू फिशिंग एक्टिविटी. कि आप फिशिंग को आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए और कुछ भी आप इधर उधर क्लिक मत कीजिए, कुछ भी डाउनलोड मत कीजिए. I believe I'm able to clear. I'm able to convey what I wanted to say. मैं एक छोटा सा स्नैपशॉट दे रहा हूं. कभी भी फिशिंग मेल आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना हो तो आपको ये 4-5 स्टेप्स देखने हैं. यू ऑलवेज चेक द सेंडर ईमेल. चेक द रियल सेंडर नेम ईमेल. ईमेल से यू विल बी आइडेंटिफाइंग वो करेक्ट ईमेल है या नहीं है. सेकेंड, कभी भी कोई फिशिंग मेल पे कोई लिंक आए, आप उसको माउस ओवर कीजिए उस पर्टिकुलर लिंक पे. यू विल सी दैट समथिंग एल्स इज रिटन इन दैट लिंक. एंड जब हम माउस ओवर कर रहे हैं तो कुछ और दिखा रहे हैं. इसका मतलब वो लिंक में जो लिखा हुआ है वो आपको बेवकूफ बनाने के लिए दिया गया है. फिर most of the emails, these kind of phishing mails have lot of spelling errors or grammatical errors. So this is one of a trigger. Where then avoid clicking on the link directly. Suppose कोई बैंक से मेल आ रहा है, वो बोलते हैं कि there is some problem with our server, kindly identify your user ID and password. So you don't need to click that mail or in that link. You directly go to the bank. आज उस वेबसाइट पे जाके आप उसको आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए वहां पे. So these are the few steps which every employee should know and understand कि हमको क्या क्लिक करना है, क्या नहीं करना. और अगर आपको कुछ भी नहीं समझ में है उस मेल पे, यू टेक हेल्प ऑफ योर आईटी पर्सन और योर बॉस. Just don't click anywhere because ultimately it will harm your organization. Never open spam mails. Google मैक्सिमम अपना फिल्टर करके आपको स्पैम दे देता है. अननेसेसरी आप उस स्पैम फोल्डर्स में जाके मेल मत खोलिए और उसको कुछ भी मत क्लिक कीजिए, डाउनलोड मत कीजिए. सेकंड, आप देखोगे कई सारे लिंक्स में HTTP होते हैं और HTTPS होते हैं. जो HTTP होता है आपको गलती से भी उसको क्लिक नहीं करना है. दोज आर अनसिक्योर्ड. Do not download attachment unless you are very sure whether you have to download it or not. And do not scan any QR code unnecessarily. Only scan when you know तो जिसने भेजा है वो reliable person है क्या. Even scanning a QR code can download a malware in your phone or in your computer. I believe I've explained about malware. Ransomware is a very, very deadliest malware where वो आपके फाइल्स के एक्सटेंशन चेंज कर देते हैं. सपोज एक्सेल फाइल है तो एक्सेल फाइल का एक्सटेंशन होता है .xlx या वर्ड फाइल .doc. आप देखोगे अटैक हुआ है तो वो एक्सटेंशन का नंबर हो जाता है .lyks. कुछ भी हो सकता है. एंड आप क्लिक करोगे आप उसको खोल ही नहीं पाओगे. वो पूरा का पूरा फाइल फोल्डर सब लॉक्ड हो जाता है. एंड वहां पे एक टेक्स्ट फाइल होता है जहां पे वो बोलते हैं काइंडली देन आई विल बी able to give you a key. Once you put the key, then आपका वो फाइल you will be able to open it. There are certain software, there are website like C-Spy. अगर आपको टाइम मिले आप जाइए इस वेबसाइट पे. You will be able to download those malware. एंड आप कोई भी कंप्यूटर में कोई भी मोबाइल फोन पे उसको प्लग इन करा सकते हो. एंड आप पूरा उस पर्टिकुलर मोबाइल फोन और कंप्यूटर को आप स्पाई करके देख सकते हो वो क्या एक्टिविटी कर रही है. The third step, safeguarding client sensitive data. I'll quickly rush because I believe we don't have much time because I want to get into the personal hygiene also. So, as I mentioned in my first, you need to identify which are the sensitive data of my client. वो sensitive data को आपको एक sensitive folder में रखना चाहिए. Those folders should be encrypted from your end कि अगर even if they are leaked, the hacker will not be able to open unless they know the password of that folder. And you have to safely dispose your hard disk. कई बार ऐसा होता है हमारे पास मशीन्स पड़ी है पुरानी, उसमें डेटा है, उसमें हार्ड डिस्क है, एंड आप you give it to the vendor in exchange of a new machine, which is again a very, very wrong thing. Your hard disk can be, even if you have formatted your hard disk 3 times, anybody can retrieve data from your old hard disk. So don't give your hard disk to anyone. आप हार्ड डिस्क को उसको तोड़ फोड़ के फेंक दीजिए, उसको पानी में डाल दीजिए, पर आप किसी को मत दीजिए क्योंकि कोई भी डेटा उसमें से रिट्रीव कर सकता है. सो डेटा डिस्पोजल इज अगेन अ वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ योर साइबर सिक्योरिटी पार्ट. एक्सेस कंट्रोल. मैंने कई बार मैं मैसेज में आपको बोला कि एक्सेस कंट्रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. यू शुड हैव प्रॉपर रोल बेस्ड एक्सेस. इट शुड नॉट हैपन दैट आपके ऑफिस के सारे फोल्डर्स इज accessed by any of the employees. को ये एक फोल्डर मैंने दिया एक्सेस करने, अब उसका काम खत्म हो गया, immediately you should remove that access right from that person. Then you should have strong password. It is important that your password should be alphanumeric with special characters. If you have 12 character password with alphanumeric, uppercase, lowercase, it is impossible for any hacker to crack that password. You should always try to put multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication mean like आपने पासवर्ड डाल दिया उसके बाद भी वो आपको एक ओटीपी दे रहा है या आपसे एक इंफॉर्मेशन happen that अर्जेंसी के लिए आपने कोई एम्प्लॉय को अपना पासवर्ड दे दिया ईमेल का एंड यू आर फॉरगेटिंग टू चेंज द पासवर्ड, वो एम्प्लॉय आपका फाइल खोलते रहेगा हर बार. So if you have implemented a two-factor authentication, then that employee will not be able to open, because two-factor may, whenever somebody else opens, an OTP comes to your mobile that this is required for opening. It is one of the best practices that we should have a root access, we should have very strong password, and all the important password should also have two-factor authentication minimum. Many, as I mentioned in my earlier examples, many people still working from home, doing Sundays को भी काम कर रहे हैं, Saturdays को कई सारे offices में remotely काम कर रहे हैं. You should avoid social media activities in your office machines. You should not use Wi-Fi which are non-password. Anybody is accessing your Wi-Fi, he can access your computer also if you are using a common Wi-Fi. And whenever you are using a VPN or your office machine, you should always ask for a two-factor authentication in that machine. वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग में भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, आप किसको अलाउ कर रहे हो स्क्रीन शेयर. आप सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन मत शेयर करो, क्योंकि आपको पता नहीं है अदर साइड में कौन बैठा है वीडियो ऑफ करके. सो दीज आर ऑल बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस दैट यू शुड अवॉइड showing sensitive information in any video meetings. Step, network management. This is a little technical, like you should have firewall in your offices. A firewall could be a physical firewall. Then there should be rules in your firewall कि we will not allow porn sites in my office. So आप उसको restrict कर दो, आप social media restrict कर दो, तो उससे भी कई सारे malwares नहीं आते हैं आपके ऑफिस में. Then पैच मैनेजमेंट, इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. पैच मैनेजमेंट इज बेसिकली आपके सॉफ्टवेयर को अपडेट कराना. इट मे हैपन यू आर यूजिंग लॉट ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर इन योर ऑफिस, विंडोज सॉफ्टवेयर, योर एक्सेल, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर लाइक टीडीएस सॉफ्टवेयर, इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न सॉफ्टवेयर. सो एवरी सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट देमसेल्फ, वो लोग अपना वल्नरेबिलिटी को अपडेट करते हैं. सो इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट you should timely update all those software also. That is called patch management. Vulnerability scanning, it's a part of a cybersecurity mitigation part where you allow a third party to come and do a vulnerability scanning of your server, where they tell you that these are the lapses in your server, kindly update all these software. Vulnerability scanning may happen to your website also, कि आपने एक वर्डप्रेस वेबसाइट बनवाई, कब 10 साल पहले वो बनवाई थी और अभी भी वेबसाइट चल रही है, तो आपको उसको स्कैन करवाना चाहिए, और वो आपको स्कैनिंग में पता चल जाएगा कि ये सॉफ्टवेयर ऑलरेडी रिडंडेंट हो गए, आप नए सॉफ्टवेयर में इसको कन्वर्ट करो. ईमेल सिक्योरिटी, एज आई मेंशन, टू फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ईमेल सिक्योरिटी. इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स, हर ऑफिस में एक इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स एक रजिस्टर होना चाहिए. अगर उस ऑफिस में कोई इंसिडेंट हुआ है तो उसको हम रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, लिख रहे हैं, उस इंसिडेंट का हम रूट कॉज फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं, ये क्यों हुआ, इसको हम आगे कैसे रोके कि ये आगे नहीं हो. दिस इज इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स. एंड आगे होता है तो ये एक्शंस लेना है हमको. इट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर बीसीपी. बीसीपी इज बेसिकली बिजनेस यूनिट प्लानिंग, दैट इवन if there is ransomware in my office, within 1 hour I can immediately come back to my real time position. मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं. एम्स इंडिया में नवंबर 2022 में एक साइबर अटैक हुआ था. मेनी पीपल आर अवेयर, मोर देन 40 लाख पेशेंट के डेटा कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गए थे, उनके पर्सनल सारी मेडिकल हिस्ट्री कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गई थी, एंड पूरा एम्स शट डाउन हो गया था. वो लोग कुछ काम नहीं कर पा रहे थे. क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे थे? क्योंकि उनका डेटा लॉक हो गया था, रैंसमवेयर अटैक हो गया था. अगर ये आपके ऑफिस में होता है तो हाउ विल यू रिएक्ट? एवरीथिंग विल, इट हैपेंड इन विद स्पाइसजेट. स्पाइसजेट के साथ हुआ, प्लेन्स उड़े नहीं क्योंकि उनका पूरा रैंसमवेयर अटैक हो गया था उनके डेटाबेस में. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड द सीरियसनेस ऑफ दिस अटैक एंड हाउ, व्हाट एक्शन यू शुड डू व्हेन इफ देयर इज एन अटैक. आपको पहले से एक प्लानिंग रखनी चाहिए. सिमिलरली इंडियन आर्मी जैसे वॉर के पहले एक्सरसाइज करती है, अगर वो एक्सरसाइज नहीं करेगी तो वॉर में जाके हार जाएगी. सिमिलरली हमको भी मॉक ड्रिल एक्सरसाइज करने चाहिए अपने ऑफिस में. एक एज्यूम करना चाहिए कि हमारे ऊपर रैंसमवेयर अटैक हो रहा है, कौन क्या एक्शन लेगा, कैसे हम अपने आप को रिस्टोर करेंगे एंड वी आर बैक टू द बिजनेस. दिस इज बेसिकली कॉल्ड रैंसम इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्स. रिव्यू, ऑडिट एंड इंप्रूवमेंट। अभी तक मैंने जो आपको समझाया, अभी तक जो जो स्टेप्स है, उसको आपको एवरी 6 मंथ्स, एवरी ईयर यू शुड रिव्यू इट प्रॉपरली कि हम व्हाट आर द लैप्सेस इन आवर सिस्टम, नए थ्रेट्स क्या आ गए। अभी कई तरह के नए थ्रेट्स आ रहे हैं, नए टाइप के मैलवेयर आ रहे हैं, तो उसको समझना, हाउ योर ऑफिस विल टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट दोस, एंड यू शुड गेट इनटू continuous education of your employees with regard to new threats, new cyber awareness. So these are the 7 steps which as an organization we should follow and we'll be able to mitigate the risk. इसको मैं समराइज कर रहा हूं। Always use genuine operating software. Most of us are using Windows. The time is gone कि आप पायरेटेड विंडोज यूज कर रहे हैं। अगर आप पायरेटेड विंडोज यूज कर रहे हैं तो आपका सिस्टम, आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सबसे ज्यादा वल्नरेबल है। एंड इफ यू आर यूजिंग जेन्युइन विंडोज, अपडेट इट ऑन अ कंटिन्यूअस बेसिस। इट शुड नॉट हैपन दैट विंडोज को आप अपडेट को ऑफ करके रखे हो। क्रिटिकल, हमेशा बैकअप लीजिए आप अपने क्रिटिकल डेटा बेसिस का, क्योंकि एज ए मेंशन बैकअप है जो आपको बचाएगा इन टाइम्स ऑफ डूम डे, जब आपके ऊपर में अटैक रहेगा रैंसमवेयर का। एंटीवायरस आपके मशीन में होनी चाहिए एंड यू शुड अपडेट दैट एंटीवायरस। इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आपने जो बैकअप लिया, आपको उसको टेस्ट करते रहना होगा रेगुलरली। इट मे नॉट हैपन दैट आप बैकअप ले रहे हो और वो बैकअप चल ही नहीं रहा है जिस दिन आप प्रॉब्लम में फंसे। डोंट ओपन अटैचमेंट, क्लिक यूआरएल्स। If you don't know, don't click it. There is no requirement for that. Access right for outgoing employees. Again, very important. मैं भूल गया आपको एक्सेस। जो एम्प्लॉयज आपके ऑफिस से चले गए हैं, उनका एक्सेस को इमीडिएटली बंद कीजिए। इट मे हैपन वो जाने के 6 महीने बाद, साल भर बाद भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ईमेल खोल के देख पा रहे हैं, बैंक अकाउंट में एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं। So it is important that you should know what are the access rights given to your employees. Once they leave, you should immediately remove the access rights. जितने भी थर्ड पार्टी एप्लीकेशंस है, पैचेस है, यू शुड रेगुलरली अपडेट दो सॉफ्टवेयर। दोज आर अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। रेगुलरली ट्रेन एंड अपडेट ऑफ न्यू साइबर थ्रेट्स एम्प्लॉइज। शेयर इंसिडेंट विद ईच अदर, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक, अरे मैं ये मेरे साथ ये इंसिडेंट हो गया, मैं क्यों बताने जाऊं किसी को। नहीं, you should share it. You should create awareness. Once you share, it may not happen to other people also. I believe this is with regard to the organization level. I'm just skipping this certain part. Can we have Q&A for this? Then I will switch to the personal hygiene also.
Yeah, Mr. Bharat, the Arijit Gupta has posted one question for you.
Last 2 days, I'm getting call from this saying that my phone number is randomly used in many websites precautionally. These are all fake calls, sir. These are absolutely fake. आपको एकदम भी ये सब जो कॉल्स आ रहे हैं, जो आपको फोन करके बोलते हैं कि आपका कोरियर अनडिलीवर्ड है, उसमें नारकोटिक्स मिल रहा है, या आप पॉर्न साइट देख लिए हैं, मैं आपको पकड़ लिया हूं, आपको कोई दरकार नहीं इस टाइप के कॉल्स को एंटरटेन करने का। इमीडिएटली आप उसको डिस्कनेक्ट कर दीजिए। यू डोंट नीड टू have a conversation also, because they may record your conversation and may misuse that conversation later on. Yeah. I'll quickly take you to one more my screen visible?
Yes.
So I'll quickly
Yes.
take you to the personal cyber hygiene. It is again very, very important as a part of personal cyber hygiene. So as an individual, we should be very careful when we are doing online transaction. So online transaction में आप कोई भी कहीं पे भी आप पेमेंट मत कीजिए। स्मॉल हमेशा आप किसी को ऑनलाइन पेमेंट कर रहे हो तो आप एक छोटा अमाउंट से ट्राई कीजिए एंड देन कंफर्म वेदर यू हैव रिसीव्ड, दैट पर्सन हैव रिसीव्ड, देन यू मेक अ लार्ज अमाउंट ट्रांजैक्शन। सो देयर आर सर्टेन चेक पॉइंट्स वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट ऑनलाइन ट्रांजैक्शन। कोई भी आदमी आपको ऑनलाइन, आप किसी को पेमेंट दे रहे हैं तो आपको उसका क्यूआर स्कैन करना है। अगर आप किसी से पेमेंट ले रहे हैं तब आपको उसका क्यूआर कोड स्कैन करना नहीं है। ये एक फ्रॉड हो रहा था बहुत दिनों से लोगों के साथ में कि आपको कोई बोल रहा था आप क्यूआर कोड स्कैन कीजिए, आई विल मेक यू द पेमेंट। देन beware of fake apps. आप जब भी कोई ऐप डाउनलोड करते हैं, यू शुड ट्राई टू डाउनलोड फ्रॉम गूगल प्ले स्टोर ओनली, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द फेक एप्स आर रिमूव फ्रॉम द गूगल प्ले स्टोर। गूगल प्ले स्टोर में आपको सिक्योर्ड एप्स ही मिलेंगे। देन ऑलवेज रिमेंबर टू रिसीव मनी देयर इज नो नीड टू एंटर योर पिन और पासवर्ड एनीवेयर। आपको जब पैसे मिल रहे होते हैं तो आपको पिन या पासवर्ड नहीं देना होता है, जब आपको पैसे देना होता है तब आपको पिन या पासवर्ड देना होता है। आइडेंटिफाई थेफ्ट प्रिवेंशन टिप्स। आपके जो फेसबुक अकाउंट है उसमें एक ऑप्शन है, या आपके जो सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट है उसमें ऑप्शन है, आप अपना प्रोफाइल को लॉक कीजिए। आप उन सबको भी 2 फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन में लेके जाइए। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इफ यू डू दैट, you will be able to safeguard yourself from identity theft. Secured mailbox, again, like whenever you're using mailbox anywhere, you should immediately log out when the work is done. कई बार हम भूल जाते हैं लॉग आउट करना। और 2 फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन में बार बार बोलूंगा, 2 फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर मेल बॉक्स एक्सेस। हमारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स हो रहे हैं इंपॉर्टेंट, पैन, आधार, हम हर किसी को मत दीजिए। आप उसको जब वो काम हो जाए आप उसको शेड कर दीजिए, उसको आप रिमूव डिलीट हटा दीजिए फाइल से। एंड कभी भी किसी को आप पैन, आधार ऐसे मत दीजिए। सिक्योर पासवर्ड मैंने बताया आपको। सोशल मीडिया स्कैम्स में कभी भी कोई आपसे पूछे सडनली कि मेरे को पैसे चाहिए, आपका कोई फ्रेंड आपको फोन कर रहा है या मैसेज दे रहा है मुझे अर्जेंटली पैसे चाहिए, आप देर यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड वेन एवर देर इज सडनली समवन कॉलिंग यू और देन इन अर्जेंसी, यू शुड वेरीफाई इट ट्वाइस। आप उस आदमी को कॉल कीजिए, पूछिए भैया कहाँ पे हो, आपको क्यों पैसे चाहिए। आप किसी के मैसेज के भेजने से आप पैसे मत दीजिए उसको। I'm just trying to cover my experience, the common type of frauds which are happening to a lot of people. Do not share personal data, confidential data in social media. आज आपने स्टॉक मार्केट में ये शेयर में इतना रुपया कमाया, उसको आपको फेसबुक में डालने का दरकार नहीं है। ये आप गिविंग एन एग्जांपल ओनली। देन लॉटरी ऑफर्स, यू मे गेट लॉट ऑफ फिशिंग मेल्स, ऑफर्स व्हाट्सएप पे आ रहा है कि आपको ये लॉटरी मिला है। अगर कोई भी चीज इज टू गुड, ऑलवेज मेक attempt to understand why it has happened to you suddenly. और मतलब इस टाइप के स्कैम्स ही होते हैं कि आपको लॉटरी उड़ गई। लॉटरी नहीं उड़ती है जनरली सर। आप एयरपोर्ट पे आप जाते हैं, कई बार आप रेलवे स्टेशन पे जाते हैं, वहां पे चार्जिंग पोर्ट लगा हुआ है एंड आप सीधे उसमें यूएसबी में पेनड्राइव, यूएसबी में अपना मोबाइल का पोर्ट लगा देते हैं एंड यू चार्ज योर फोन। इट मे हैपन दैट somebody mobile somebody laptop is being linked to that particular port, and he can see a lot of information or your data from your mobile phone. So it is important, आप जहां पे इलेक्ट्रिकल प्लग हो वहीं पे आप चार्जिंग यूज कीजिए, आप यूएसबी मत यूज कीजिए। आप पब्लिक वाईफाई यूज कर रहे हैं तो यू शुड नॉट use for banking transaction in public Wi-Fi. Banking transaction should always happen in your own office Wi-Fi or in your home Wi-Fi or in your mobile network. मोबाइल फोन को आप लॉक कीजिए। इट शुड नॉट हैपन दैट योर मोबाइल, आप कोई भी आदमी आपका मोबाइल यूज कर सकता है, बिकॉज मोबाइल हैज बिकम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। मोस्ट ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन, confidential sensitive information are lying in our mobile phone, and that mobile can be used, misused also. मोबाइल फोन का आप सॉफ्टवेयर रेगुलरली अपडेट कीजिए, अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड नाउ द टाइम हैज कम टू यूज टू डाउनलोड एंटीवायरस इन योर मोबाइल फोन आल्सो। इफ यू डाउनलोड antivirus costs you hardly 200-300 rupees for your mobile phone. So the time is, because mobile has become such an important part, if you have a good antivirus in your mobile phone, then the ransomware or a malware will not be able to download in your mobile phone. So that will restrict that part. As I mentioned, if you're using public Wi-Fi, don't say password when you're using a public Wi-Fi. Don't make payments when you're using a public Wi-Fi. Always try to use a virtual keyboard when you're using a public Wi-Fi. When you're using credit cards, क्रेडिट कार्ड में पिन नंबर होना चाहिए, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। देन आप एटीएम में यूज कर रहे हैं तो कैसे आप यूज कर रहे हैं, और वहां पे कोई कैमरा नहीं लगा हो। हमेशा जब आप पिन डाल रहे हो तो आप उसको एक सेफ गार्ड करके, हैंड से सेफ गार्ड करके पिन डालिए कि सो दैट इफ देयर इज अ कैमरा आल्सो दे आर नॉट एबल टू कैप्चर दैट पिन. एंड देन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, set limit for your credit card transaction. Whenever you get a credit card, the bank will give you an online access कि आप यहाँ पे जाइए और अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड का लिमिट सेट कर दीजिए. So मैं क्या करता हूँ नॉर्मली अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड का, मैं इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजेक्शन के लिए क्रेडिट कार्ड का लिमिट कर देता हूँ केवल 5,000. जस्ट गिव एन एग्जांपल. देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट इफ आई टू मेक एन इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजेक्शन. मैं उस क्रेडिट कार्ड के लिमिट को चेंज करके बढ़ा के 5,000 से 50,000 भी कर सकता हूँ. मैं एटीएम विड्रॉल में यूज नहीं करता हूँ, तो मैं एटीएम विड्रॉल को 0 कर देता हूँ. तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्पेसिफिकेशन. इफ यू चेंज दैट लिमिट, इवन इफ योर क्रेडिट कार्ड इज लॉस्ट, देयर इज यू विल लूज नॉट, you will lose nothing. So these are the best practices we should follow while using a credit card in your personal capacity.
I believe we'll wait for him for a bit. There were some technical difficulties that he might be facing. So we'll just wait for him for a few minutes and then we'll continue. Captain Pankaj, could you check in on him?
Yeah, I'll just check out.
He's
for
back.
him.
He's back. Don't worry about it. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know how come I got disconnected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe
Arnav?
cyber attack.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly
No,
fine.
no, there was no
No
cyber attack.
problem.
So
Funny.
I believe I'm done with my presentation. Yeah. So we can take up questions now.
So now that you're done with your presentation, I invite each and every one of you to like ask him questions, be curious about like his experiences and maybe ask him what you could do for your own business or in a more personalized situation. I believe he'd be happy to answer that.
Do the small business owners require SOP for cyber security?
Pankaj, come again.
Yeah, I was asking at this time, do the small owners, business owners, they require SOP for the cyber security?
Yeah, they do require SOP. Those SOP could be very, very simple to understand.
Now, since it's a very new thing, then how they will go for?
Can you hear me? I think there's some net issue with my end.
Now it's okay.
No.
Now it's okay.
Pankaj, net issue is at your end.
I don't believe we
Yeah.
can hear you perfectly fine.
What was that spy? request you presentation and more. Flexi Spy. I'm just writing Flexi Spy.
What is Flexi Spy?
It's a spyware software.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier I was asking you, like as a
Hmm.
small business owner, how can I proceed to have the SOP? Because I don't have any idea.
You see, we can make a small, simple SOP that is called a cybersecurity policy. That where we mention this is my password policy in my organization, this is my access right. I just give you one example. Suppose I am a small organization, I've got 5 employees. So, but as of now, I don't know what kind of access rights I have given to those employees. वो एम्प्लॉय कुछ भी मेरे ऑफिस में, जैसे मेरे बैंक अकाउंट भी मेरा वो एक्सेस कर पा रहा है, मेरे कोई भी क्लाइंट का टैली डेटा एक्सेस कर पा रहा है, हम मेरे को पता ही नहीं है। और वो एम्प्लॉय कल चला जाता है, मुझे पता ही नहीं कि उसके पास क्या क्या एक्सेस राइट है, और वो जाने के बाद भी वो मेरे इंपॉर्टेंट फोल्डर्स को, फाइल्स को एक्सेस कर पा रहा है। तो इसके लिए हमको क्या स्टेप्स लेना चाहिए? मैं एक छोटा सा स्टेप्स बता रहा हूं। आपको एक शीट बनानी चाहिए एंड आप उसमें एक टेबल बनाइए कौन कौन से एम्प्लॉयज को क्या क्या एक्सेस राइट्स दिया हुआ है। तो नाउ यू हैव इंफॉर्मेशन। ये एक छोटा सा स्टेप बता रहा हूं मैं। एंड जहां वो एम्प्लॉय जाता है, मैं तुरंत उस सारे के सारे जगह से उस एम्प्लॉयज के एक्सेस राइट को हटा देता हूं, वहां पासवर्ड चेंज कर देता हूं।
Okay.
सिमिलरली हमको हर तरह के स्टेप्स बनाने पड़ेंगे अपने। बैकअप का स्टेप, हमको बैकअप कैसे लेना है, कब लेना है, क्या बैकअप हम ले रहे हैं। एक रजिस्टर डाल दो, आप एम्प्लॉय को डाल दो उसमें, आपको ये हर तारीख इतने तारीख को बैकअप लेना है, हर सैटरडे को बैकअप लेना है, और उस रजिस्टर में आप सिग्नेचर करोगे बैकअप हुआ कि नहीं हुआ। द मोमेंट यू सी द यू रजिस्टर, वहां पे फिलअप नहीं है, सिग्नेचर नहीं है, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द बैकअप हैज नॉट बीन टेकन।
Okay.
हाँ, so there are a lot of small steps which, and these are all not expensive steps, these are all only thing आपको बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस फॉलो करना। इट इज अबाउट वेकिंग अप इन द मॉर्निंग। आप सुबह 6 बजे उठ रहे हो या सुबह 9 बजे उठ रहे हो,
Okay.
इट मेक्स लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस।
Yes. Yes. And there's another question from Ananya Verma.
No, cookies are not threat. Depends which kind of website you have gone. क्योंकि अभी क्या हो रहा है, कोई भी आप वेबसाइट पे जाते हो तो दे विल आस्क यू whether you accept the cookies or not. So you can accept it. If you are going to a decent good website, then there should not be any harm. And the website is secured through HTTPS link. मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, लिंक्डइन में प्लीज मुझे ऐड कीजिएगा एंड अपना फीडबैक दीजिएगा कैसा लगा आपको ये प्रोग्राम।
Can you
लिंक्डइन में
type your
फीडबैक दीजिएगा प्लीज।
LinkedIn profile here so that people can copy?
Actually, today I'm not using my machine, my office machine.
Later on, I'll
So
share your
anybody can,
detail.
yeah, anybody can just put Bharat D Saraogi in LinkedIn, so they'll be able to see me. Bharat
Okay.
D
Okay.
Saraogi, LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. I'll put a reminder in the uh, webinar WhatsApp group.
Right.
That's correct. That's correct. And now we are at the very initial stage, and we are doing a good job as what we think and what the feedback we have got.
Right.
And now I would like to propose a vote of thanks. Okay. As we come to the close of this informative and engaging season, I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Bharat for his invaluable insights on cybersecurity risk and mitigation. Your expertise as a cybersecurity auditor and your deep understanding of the evolving digital threats have not only enlightened us, but also empowered us to better protect ourselves in this ever-changing digital landscape. Your clear explanation, practical solutions, and real-world examples have provided all of us, especially the students of the Code India, with a better grasp of the importance of cybersecurity in today's world. We sincerely appreciate the time you took to share your knowledge with us and for addressing our queries with such patience and depth. On behalf of the Code India, our participants and everyone involved in this webinar, I extend our deepest gratitude to you. Mr. Bharat, we look forward to staying connected and possibly collaborating with you on more seasons in the future. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a very nice of you have attended.
Before we leave, sorry to interrupt. Before we leave, I would love to have people turn on their cameras so we can capture this beautiful moment before uh we end this webinar.
Kindly switch on the camera for the recording your attendance and to maintain the record in the Lions Club. I request Manish, Nishant, Abha, Sukriti, please switch on the camera. Yeah, Kushal Bhuvania, Ananya Verma, Shraddha Gupta, Sumana Sahu, Ananya. Yeah, no, please go ahead.
All right, so we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. And I believe we have enough pictures now. Uh, Thank you once again for all you to join this webinar and learn more about cybersecurity and enhance your lives in a very technical and important way. Also, another special thanks firstly to Mr. Bharat for joining this webinar and, uh, and educating our people and attendees on this topic. Thank you so much once again, and
Thank you, Arnav.
hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Before we sign out, just please note that we'll be sharing you the feedback form, and that is for our continuous improvement. I request all of you, please fill up that form. And also this feedback form will be sending to the speaker because he has done a good and a great job. So we should appreciate his effort also. Thank you once again, Mr. Bharat.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
Arnav for organizing everything. And once again, I thanking the president of Lions Club Mega City, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal.
Thank you, Rajesh ji.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Okay,
so
then
much.
we sign out now. We can leave that. And feedback form will be shared in the WhatsApp group.